Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the Potomac and Chesapeake Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. Thank you so much for joining us. We are really excited you're here. Before we get started, we do have a few housekeeping items to note. First, if you have any questions at all, feel free to use the Q&A button to type in your questions to the presenters at any time. They are here, ready and available to answer your questions. Your camera and microphone are off. You are muted and your video is off. The panelists can't see or hear you. This is one of many college presentations being offered tonight, so feel free to sign up for more at the same place where you registered for this one. And lastly, all sessions are being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/PA or PC, ACAC. We are currently in session D1, where my mouse is circling at the moment. And this is also the same order of presentations. So without further ado, I'll get out of the way and introduce our first representative from Johnson & Wales University.
Hello, everybody. My name's Marisa Marcy, and I'm a regional admissions representative with Johnson & Wales University. And I love Johnson & Wales so much. It's very different from other schools. To start with, we have two campuses, Providence, Rhode Island, where we were founded way back in 1914, and Charlotte, North Carolina, which is the second largest financial district in the country. Both are beautiful campuses. They're in the city, both in very vibrant, active cities. In fact, our Charlotte campus, you can see, is right by Panther Stadium, but a lot of green space on them too. And Providence, Rhode Island, in fact, they call that College Town, USA, because there are more college students in Providence per capita than any other US city. And in fact, you're actually going to hear from Providence College after me. So Providence is just really a fun place to be a student. Now, what makes Johnson & Wales so different is that we are all about learning by doing. At Johnson & Wales, you will not find any of those lecture halls with 100 different seats with, you need a microphone to ask a question. Our classes are actually labs, and they actually look like the real world. This is one of our finance labs up here. And as you can see, I mean, it looks like you're on Wall Street. That's one of our crime labs for our criminal justice majors. It looks like the set of CSI. Again, Johnson & Wales is very hands-on. And here in Charlotte, that's one of our fashion merchandising labs, our sensory analysis labs. Again, at Johnson & Wales, it's learning by doing. The class sizes are small, so it's hands-on and you get a lot of attention from your instructors. The average ratio, about 18:1. In your labs, it's even smaller than that. And the faculty are phenomenal. All of them have a lot of industry experience, having done what they're teaching. And they're really great teachers too. And you also learn from each other too, because at both of our campuses, we have a beautiful diversity. Students come from over 50 states and 50 states and over 73 countries. So you're going to find people of every size, shape, color, background, and that really enriches your education also. Campuses are very inclusive. And the other thing that's different about Johnson & Wales, here you will start taking classes in your major as a freshman. And that's different. Usually at most colleges, you don't get into your major until your junior year. And your first 2 years are all of your general academics, but we want you engaged in what really interests you right off the bat. So whether you're a fashion major or a baking pastry major, equine major, here's all of our majors. We have over 50 majors, everything from the world of business to health sciences, pre-med, culinary arts. We're very well known in culinary arts and hospitality, sports entertainment, event management, and so much more. What I think is most exciting is we have a 97.7% career outcomes rate. And what that means is that almost all of our students are doing what they want to do when they graduate. whether it's launching their careers or going on to law school, med school. And we do have graduate programs, accelerated programs for law school. We have a PA program. So a lot of different things, but how we get that astounding career outcomes rate, again, because we do things differently with getting into your major right away, very hands-on, small classes, and our internship program is phenomenal. We have them all over the US, also in foreign countries. And because you get into your major early on, you can do an internship as early as your sophomore year. A lot of our students will do 2 internships. More than half of them pay, and 71% of our students receive a job offer after their internship. These are different national student organizations: FBLA, DECA, FCCLA, Skills USA, HOSA. If you belong to them in high school, you can get a scholarship for Johnson & Wales. And then when you are at Johnson & Wales, you'll never be bored. We have fraternities, sororities, there's always something going on. And we do have athletics, we're the Wildcats, we're NCAA D3 at both campuses, and here are our men and women's sports. And we have beautiful dorms at both campuses. You actually get to pick your room and your roommate. And we even have some pet-friendly dorms too. I should also share that the food in our dining halls is phenomenal. Because we are world-renowned in the field of culinary arts, you know, though, whatever you're majoring in, you're going to eat well at Johnson & Wales. It's very easy to apply to Johnson & Wales, and it's free. We do not charge an application fee. You can go to our website here for the application, apply.jwu.edu, and we're also on the Common App. Now, if you're a senior or a transfer student, normally our deadline is March 1st, but it's not too late. This year, because of the pandemic, we have extended our application deadline. So if you're a senior or transfer student, it's not too late. If you're a junior, look into our early action program. It's non-binding, but if you submit your application and your transcript by November 1st, you'll be in the first wave of decisions that go out, and you'll find out before Thanksgiving if you've been accepted. And we are test optional. If you've taken your SATs or ACTs, that's great. Your scores can only help you. They can't hurt you. But again, we are test optional, so they aren't required. We do give college credit for AP classes if you score a 3 or higher on them. Also, if you're dual enrolled, and for IB programs. And 94% of our students receive financial aid. Again, you can get scholarships for belonging to FBLA, FCCLA, all those clubs. And we are open for in-person and virtual tours. Just go to our website there, jwu.edu/visit. And if you do want to get more information, just text Wildcats to 75192. Again, my name is Marisa, and we would love to have you come visit us at Johnson & Wales. Go Wildcats!
Awesome, thank you so much. The next representative is from Providence College.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, appreciate it. My name is Patrick Brennan. I'm one of the Assistant Deans of Mission here at Providence College. I'm also a proud Providence College alum, so I'm happy to be here tonight to be speaking with you all about Providence College. One of the big things to kind of notice right away or recognize is the fact that we are located right in Providence, Rhode Island, as my colleague over at Johnson & Wales was just talking about. Providence, the city, is kind of known as the creative capital. You know, even though we're kind of the smallest state in the, you know, being from Rhode Island, the city of Providence has a lot to offer. As mentioned, there's 8 colleges right in the downtown area of Providence itself. So there is a really great artistic scene, college scene within the downtown area. Our students utilize this downtown city of Providence to do internships, research opportunities, to work part-time. We also have a really fantastic opportunity to just engage with others from different colleges in the local area as well. We are located about 5 minutes away from the downtown city of Providence, though. So when you are coming to Providence, Rhode Island, you'll see that our campus itself is kind of that more closed-in campus feel. You'll see that we're kind of surrounded by more of a residential area. So we're not quite in the downtown city of Providence, just like Johnson & Wales was. We're kind of a little bit more on the outskirts of the city. So you can see the city skyline from our campus, but when you walk around our campus, you'll kind of see that it takes about 10 to 15 minutes to walk from one end to the other. The overall size of our school is right around 4,100 undergraduates. So we're definitely that kind of smaller, tight-knit community. We're really going to emphasize that opportunity to get to know your fellow classmates as you walk around campus. You're always going to have that opportunity to see someone you know, but also meet someone new. I think there's a couple things that kind of really stand out and highlight that sense of friar family that exists on campus. One of the first things is that our average class size is right around 20 with a 12-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So we really emphasize that ability to get to know your professors on a first name basis and for them to get to know you so that those relationships can help you in as you pursue not only your academic interests, but also hopefully potential careers, whether you're doing internships or research opportunities, because we definitely focus in on that experiential learning component. One of the big things that kind of sets us apart, I think, from other institutions is definitely our Catholic tradition. So we are a Catholic school. We are run by the Dominican friars. We're the only Dominican-run institution in the country, so it definitely makes us kind of stand out. When you walk around campus, you'll see the Dominican friars. They wear their white robes. There's about 40 to 50 Dominican friars that live right on campus in the priory. They're really just a great opportunity and resource for students as they are kind of growing in their spirituality, whatever that may mean to them. So yes, we are a Catholic institution, but we're open to all different backgrounds, and we like to believe that all students feel welcomed on our campus. I think no matter what, our students really feel that connection to giving back, and that's why community service tends to be a really big aspect of our school. But we definitely have a lot of other religions on our campus, and we definitely would encourage students to come check us out and experience that campus life for themselves. The Dominican friars also believe in their motto. It's called Veritas, which means to seek the truth. So they believe that faith and reason are compatible. It's one of the reasons why we have a liberal arts core curriculum at our school. So we have a wide range of different majors, about 54 different majors that students can choose from. Business, biology tend to be really popular, psychology, political science. But we also have a really strong emphasis on that experiential learning component. So you can see that 37% of students will do some type of research component during their time at Providence. Once again, we focus primarily on the undergraduate experience, so you're not really competing against graduate level students to do research. Study abroad is a really great way to enhance your college experience. Obviously, it's a little weird talking about that with the global pandemic, but definitely important to know that any scholarships or financial aid you receive to come to Providence, you can also utilize while you study abroad. Typically, you're going to do this during your junior year at PC, either summer, semester, or a full year program. We really emphasize that ability for students to kind of have that internship experience or that career shadowing experience. So about 96% of our students do some type of internship during their time at Providence, which I think, once again, what they have that ability in the classroom to connect with professors, to do double majors, and have that ability to do those internships and those experiential learning components allows us to be successful for job placement. And I'm really proud of the fact that 93% of students report once they graduate and they enter into the workforce, they're employed doing something that they really enjoy. And I think that's really beneficial and really important. So now you've heard wonderful things about Providence College and you're wondering, how do I end up here? And one of the big things to note is we are a Common App institution. So you'll apply through the Common Application. We're holistic in our review process. We focus a lot on the entire picture. The big piece of that picture, though, is going to be your high school transcript. So we like to see that strength of curriculum. We like to see that GPA and see how you're performing, as well as what classes you've chosen to take. We're going to look at your college essays, your extracurricular activities, your letters of recommendation, and we are test optional. We've been test optional for about 13 years, here at Providence. So it's definitely something that we emphasize and we really focus in on. So if you're having difficulty finding a testing site, or you're not too sure about how you're going to perform in the SAT or ACT, hopefully that will relieve some stress for you. We have early action, early decision 1, early decision 2, and regular decision. So a little bit of all different ways in which you can ultimately end up at Providence. We do offer merit-based scholarships, and we do have a lot of really great ways for you to come visit our campus. So we will be offering visits in the beginning of June, and we look forward to welcome you to campus. If you have any questions, feel free to type them into the chat, and look forward to connecting with you.
Thank you. We really appreciate it. Just a friendly reminder that if you have any questions at all, to feel free to submit those through the Q&A. Our representatives are here and available to answer your questions. The next representative is from American College, Dublin.
Thank you so much, Catherine. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. This is a really exciting time in your lives. So I'm really excited to share a little bit about the American College Dublin with you. So if you didn't realize from the name, we are located in Dublin, Ireland, right in the heart on Marion Square, if you know this city at all. And I really love to start my presentations with this picture because I think it gives a really good feel of the city as a whole. As you can see, there's plenty going on, stores, restaurants, pubs, libraries, just a ton of different things to discover. And I'll touch a little bit more on this later in the presentation, but just the idea that Dublin is also your campus and a great opportunity for further learning. And then if you bring your view to the back of the picture, you will see St. Anne's Church, and that is the church where we hold our formal graduation ceremonies. So something for you to look forward to a little further down the road. We are an Irish American university, which means we uphold the standards of accrediting bodies from both Ireland and the US through the Quality and Qualifications Ireland and the Middle States Commission on Higher Education. So what this means for you as a student is you can pick the path that makes the most sense for you. So through the Irish accreditation, it will look like a 3-year path, and you will just take courses that are under your degree. So if you decide to be an international business major, you will only take classes for that degree, and you will be done in 3 years. But if you're more interested in, the 4 years and you take electives and different courses that you wouldn't normally, then there is the US accreditation. So it gives you an opportunity to look at yourself as a student and see what fits you best. So we are a pretty small school, about 500 students. So because of this, the lectures at ACD are typically less than 20 students. From personal experience, I would say more around 10 to 15. But this arrangement really facilitates for an interactive experience within the classroom. There's tons of discussion, a lot of debate, and of course, a little bit of Irish wit. But we love this because it really gives the teachers and the students this opportunity to work in a little bit more of a casual classroom. And you can see that the students feel more comfortable and they're willing to speak up and give their perspective. So that's why we're so excited about these small classes. The teachers use a lot of movies and songs and a lot of different forms of media to get the lesson across. So it's definitely not a boring time in the classroom. So as I mentioned before, we really encourage our students to take advantage of Dublin. We really want you to go out into the city and explore and take what you've learned in the classroom and bring it into the city and say, oh, wow, I read about this and now I'm looking at it, and, have those really cool aha moments that kind of really bring your education full circle. Again, we are located pretty much in the center. The National Gallery of Ireland is a 30-second walk from our campus, so there's plenty to see, plenty to do. And the people in Dublin are just so sweet, so nice, always willing to help you with directions or anything like that. So, it has that city feel, but also a feel of a community. So it's a really great balance. So I wanted to quickly talk about our administration. Like our classrooms, it is small by design. And what this means is that our offices operate completely under an open door policy. We really want to get to know you as a student, and we want you to get to know us as the administration. So, we encourage you to stop by and get to know us. And another thing is we really want to advocate for you and try and help you along these few years that you're with us. So to do that to our best ability, we really want to get to know you. So these are the degrees we offer. As I mentioned, that 3-year course in international business and liberal arts, and then our 4-year BA in international business, hospitality management, event management, liberal arts, and then our 4-year BFA in musical theater, performance, and creative writing. So we welcome applicants from every corner of the globe. Even though we are a small school, you would be pretty shocked by how diverse our student population is, which is really exciting. And because of this, our requirements are aimed at gathering a holistic view of you as an applicant. So what that means is we really want to get to know who you are. And because of this, what's required is a minimum 2.0 GPA verified by transcript. And then for any transfer students, a resume or CV, and then a personal statement that describes why you would like to study your chosen area at ACD. So this is really your time to advocate for yourself and really paint a vibrant picture of who you are, not only as a student, but just as a person. We want to know what you're passionate about, what drives you, everything like that. And we are test optional. So if you would like to include it, great. If not, it will not hurt you at all. And then our tuition and fees is €9,000 right now. And for the BFA, it is a little bit more because your classes take place in, different areas and you have different materials. I wish I had more time with you all, but I'll drop my contact information in the chat below.
Great, so much information. The next representative is from Xavier University.
Hello all, thank you so much for having me this evening. I just wanted to start by introducing myself. My name is Erin Melody. I am Xavier's Regional Recruitment Director in the Mid-Atlantic. I reside just outside of Baltimore and work specifically with students from the DMV. Xavier is a Jesuit Catholic university located in Cincinnati, which is in the southwest corner of Ohio. Our metro area is home to about 2 million people and is consistently ranked as a top city for college grads by Smart Asset. Thus, our students have wonderful opportunities by being in the city of Cincinnati. We certainly utilize it as an extension of our campus, academically, socially, culturally, and professionally. Our 190-acre Park Lake campus is located within the city limits. So we're approximately a 10-minute drive from what is considered downtown, the heart of Cincinnati. We're home to about 5,000 full-time undergraduates. We're a medium-sized school with a small-sized feel. We have a 12-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio and an average class size of about 21. The 5,000 students that we do have choose from about 90 different majors and programs in one of our 4 undergraduate colleges: Arts and Sciences, the Williams College of Business, our School of Professional Sciences, and our School of Nursing, which is not only direct entry, but it is also housed in our newest building, the Health United building, better known as the Hub. At Xavier, we are incredibly proud of our success rate. What that means is we have a 98% success rate. Within 6 months of graduation, 98% of our students are employed in a job that requires a bachelor's degree, are enrolled full-time in graduate school, or participating in a long-term service commitment like the military or the Peace Corps. How do we achieve this? Every student, when they arrive at Xavier, has their own success team. As you can see on the slide, there are 4 coaches who are there to be your support network, assisting you in making the transition to college life, guiding you in or toward your major, connecting you with mentors, research opportunities, and internships, and keeping you on track to graduate and successfully move on to the next phase of your life. You will find Xavier on the Common application. We have no application fee. We are a rolling decision school with a priority deadline of December 1. You will receive your admission and initial scholarship decision usually within 2 to 4 weeks of a completed application having been submitted. You can begin that in August when Common App goes live, and we start notifications in October. If you are applying for need-based aid, we only require the FAFSA. Our middle 50%, as you can see there, is about a 3.2 to a 3.9, and that is a weighted GPA average. But most importantly, especially this year, Xavier continues to be test optional. When asked what is a typical Xavier student, my reply is often a Xavier student is an engaged student. They are involved in a variety of activities, from our study abroad programs. We have about 75 different locations, to honors programs. We have 5, community service, both in Cincinnati and around the globe. or one of our 170 different clubs and organizations, ranging from ethnic and social groups to interest and hobby groups, intramural and club sports. In the middle of campus, you will find the Cintas Center, home of Xavier basketball, where student tickets are free and our extreme fans camp out for the best seats at the big games, especially against our Big East opponents. Xavier is a true community, as our mascot D'Artagnan would say, all for one and one for all. The second largest class in Xavier's history arrived on campus last August from across the country. 1,300 students with wonderfully diverse backgrounds, and we look forward to welcoming an even more diverse class, the class of 2025, to our campus this upcoming fall semester. We are a residential campus with housing required and guaranteed for the first 2 years. 90% of our students live on or within 5 blocks of campus, and students can have a car on campus all 4 years. But there's access to the city and local amenities by public transportation and student shuttles on the weekend with rideshare services. I encourage you to explore campus further. We are open for in-person visits weekdays this summer, or check out the virtual offerings on our Making a Musketeer pages. They are designed especially for students in their college search. Should you have any questions or would like to set up an individual appointment, please be in touch. Thanks so much.
Great, thank you. Just another reminder that if you have any questions at all, to feel free to submit those using the Q&A button. Any questions at all, you're more than welcome to share. And if you have to send, but if you have a specific question, to also note the school name. The next representative is from University College, Dublin.
All right. Hey, everyone. Thank you for joining tonight. My name is Kendall Hook, and I am with University College, Dublin. I am physically located here in the US in New York City to work with all of our Mid-Atlantic students, but our university, as our name indicates, is actually in Dublin, Ireland. I know we talked a little bit about Dublin earlier this evening during our presentations, but I just want to reiterate that if you've been to Ireland yourself, or you have heard good things from friends or family who have been, all of it is true. Ireland is an incredibly safe, friendly, and welcoming country. It's often ranked as the world's friendliest country, according to many global magazines or travel magazines, and in the top 10 to 12 safest countries in the world as well. But for being a small country, it is mighty. It's very globally connected, multicultural society. So you have people from all over the world coming to Ireland, whether it's for school. Dublin has over 50% of Ireland's international students, or for work. So Dublin is an EU headquarter capital. So we have headquarters of big multinational corporations like Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, Airbnb, etc., located in Dublin, which makes for an awesome networking or internship opportunity, whether you want to work or intern while you're in Ireland, or stay back for our Stay Back program after you graduate. But Dublin is a wonderful city. It's manageable in size. It's easy to navigate. The public transportation is great, and it's very youthful and vibrant. So I think it's like over half of Dublin's population as a whole is under the age of 36 or so. So it's an awesome place to spend your 4 years. A little bit about UCD, or University College Dublin. We were founded in 1854, so we are not the oldest university in Ireland, but we are one of them. We are the #1 ranked school in Ireland, according to US News and World Report, again, which is really exciting. And we are the largest and most international school in Ireland. So we have about 30,000 students, of which almost 30% come from outside of Ireland, which is huge. And about 42% of our faculty come from outside of Ireland as well. So we truly are a global campus. You can see behind me in my background and on the screen, our campus has a bit more of a modern feel, despite being very old or established in 1854. So between our campus and our student body size and our research output, we're very similar to probably a large public school here in the US. We have a large range of degree programs, which I'm happy to touch on in just a moment. But like I mentioned, our campus is very similar to a large public school here in the US, and we have all of the traditional amenities that you're used to. So we have the gym, the student life center, the different libraries for academic disciplines, counseling support services, academic support services, tutoring, etc. So we have the support services, not just for the Irish students, but for all of our students who are coming from all over the world. I mentioned the Student Life Center. We have a vibrant student life on campus. So we don't have the traditional sororities and fraternities, but we have over 130 different clubs and organizations to get plugged into, which is a great way to jump in and find your friends right away. And we do have on-campus housing. We have about 3,000 students that live on campus, which is pretty unique for a European university. So you don't have to commute to class, and you actually have a bus terminal right next to the residence halls to get into downtown Dublin super quickly, a matter of 20 minutes max. So it's very easy. We guarantee housing on campus for all of our first-year international students, and you get your own private bedroom. So you share a suite with a smaller group of students that can come from all over the world. We have a wide range of degree programs. I say architecture to zoology, A to Z, everything in between. The two programs that would not be a good fit for UCD would be education and nursing, but everything else is fully transferable back here to the US, whether it's for grad school or for a job after graduation. So you can see here, these are our primary colleges on campus, but our most popular programs are things like political science, biology, English literature, veterinary medicine. We have a wide range. But I do want to highlight that we don't have general education requirements. So you would jump in and start your major right away. If you are unsure of your major, don't worry. We do have a program called the Liberal Arts and Sciences program that allows you to try out several different colleges your first year before ultimately deciding which program you want to continue pursuing. So you can still graduate in 4 years, but have that built-in flexibility, which is pretty unique for a European university. You can apply to UCD in 2 ways, directly online on our website or through the Common App. We focus primarily on academics only. So if you're able to take standardized testing, we do encourage it, because some of our direct entry programs, it would make you a more competitive candidate. However, we do have some programs that are more flexible, so it's not required. But of course, submitting those scores can always help scholarships. We do have about 80% of our international students receiving some sort of financial merit-based award each year. All in, UCD is about $40,000, which is less expensive than going out of state or to a private school here in the US, and we do accept federal aid. So that is it for me. I appreciate you guys listening along, and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thank you. Our last representative, but certainly not least, is from The Ohio State University.
Hello, everyone. Yes, everyone calls us The Ohio State University. Ohio State's just fine. I hear The Ohio State too frequently, so OSU or Ohio State is just fine with me. But good evening, everyone. My name is Jackson Strick. I'm one of the admissions counselors here at Ohio State University. I do my primary recruiting throughout the Cincinnati area, so I do a lot of in-state recruitment, but I'm happy to be here and joining all of you today, or this evening, I should say. Couple of things about Ohio State. So first and foremost, where we are located. So we are actually in Columbus, Ohio. Most people don't really know much about Columbus, Ohio if you are not from the state of Ohio to begin with. I'm not from the state of Ohio originally. I'm actually from Chicago. And so, when you think of like really fun cities or destination places to go to, you think of like big names like New York or maybe Miami or LA. You don't really think of Columbus, Ohio, right? But what I will say is Columbus is actually one of the most fun cities that I've ever been in. And I had the privilege of being able to travel a lot. And I think a large part of that is actually because of which is really just how young the city is. So Ohio State completely takes over the market here for professional development, internships, social interactions. So a lot of Ohio State graduates will find employment opportunities in the area as well, because while they're a student here, they build these relationships and build their network and get internships and co-op opportunities and do research and things like that. So they already have job offers coming from the local area. So a lot of recent graduates, a lot of fun neighborhoods, and a lot of cool places to explore here. On top of that, the campus itself, I should say, we are located about 5 minutes north of downtown Columbus. So we are huge, right? We're a huge university. We are literally one of the largest universities in the entire country, around 64,000 total students. So definitely a lot. But we're not in the heart of the city, which I think is really great. So it's a really healthy balance between being on campus versus being in that downtown environment. So you kind of get that the best of both worlds there. But there's definitely a lot of stuff to do throughout the area. So with the large population, with the large city close by, there's really never a dull moment. You see the gentleman here in the top left picture who was actually, looks like he's kayaking or canoeing down the river. I've actually gone kayaking down that river, and it goes from our campus right through the city. So it's definitely really kind of a cool, just a vibrant atmosphere and experience here throughout the city of Columbus. So Ohio State University is a Big Ten university, so very similar to University of Maryland or Rutgers or Penn State. I'm trying to think of some other Big Ten schools that are in that direction. So and what that means is we are very research driven and research oriented. So we do take a lot of pride here at Ohio State on the research opportunities that we are able to provide for our students. So as a first year student, you are able to get involved in research and utilize all the technology and labs and creative spaces that we're able to offer for you. Since we are such a huge university, one of the pros of that is that we have basically any program you can possibly think of. Over 200 majors, in between majors, minors, specializations, certifications. We have over 500 total programs. So definitely a lot you can choose from. There are programs here that you don't even know exist yet, which is very common. We actually have an entire degree in welding, like a whole degree in it, which I didn't know was even possible until I got here. So definitely some really cool and unique opportunities there to really explore some of your academic interests. You see here towards the bottom, some of the averages here. So we're a really competitive school, and I don't think a lot of people actually realize that. The average ACT scores using last year's data of the students that we admitted was between a 28 and a 32, and the ACT was a 1280, between a 1280 and a 1440. So definitely some really competitive students here. I do not have GPA listed here because we do consider weighted and unweighted. So it just depends on what your school is able to provide. And then we do have over 94% of our students are actually in the top 25% of their high school graduating class. So very competitive admission process, very competitive school. We do take a lot of pride in our academics here. Unlike most schools right now, we are test optional. So fingers crossed that we are continuing that going forward, but who knows? We are test optional directly because of COVID. So prior to COVID-19, we're not test optional. I know some schools here were test optional and have been for quite some time. We were only test optional because of COVID, and we are continuing that this year as well. So obviously, it's really important that you're learning inside the classroom, but it's equally as important that you're learning outside the classroom as well. You can do this in a variety of ways. So study abroad programs, internships, service learning projects. Obviously, COVID hinders a little bit of this, most notably study abroad programs. But I want to direct your attention to our service learning that you see here in the bottom right side of the screen. That picture that represents service learning takes place at Buckeye-thon. So Buckeye-thon is arguably the largest event of the year every year, where we will come together, not just the Ohio State community, but the entire city of Columbus comes together to fundraise money for children fighting cancer. We've raised millions of dollars over the years, and it's just a great example of how students can get involved a little bit more outside the classroom, and by joining student organizations, getting involved with volunteer work, things like that. So kind of going off that, talking about our student life a little bit. You see here, the left side of the screen, I think every single picture is actually taking place at a football game. Yes, football is really important here. I'm sure you might be aware of that if you follow sports at all. Please know that football is not everything. So we do still have a lot of student organizations and clubs for students to get involved in. I believe a little over 1,400 student organizations to be exact. We are a public university, so we don't have any direct religious affiliation, but we still are able to offer some religious student organizations for students. We have Greek life, so fraternities, sororities. We have athletics and sports. So if you're an athlete now and you want to do intramural sports or club sports, we have that as well. So pretty much anything you can think of with just the sheer volume of students that we have here at the university. Just kind of a last fun thing here. So the last point you see here, be part of the Buckeye family. Like I said, I'm from out of state. I didn't go to Ohio State originally. And so when I came here, that transition was a little bit different and the culture is crazy. So everyone here loves football. Everyone loves Ohio State. And this is a true story. When I first started working here, I actually would go, I would do my grocery shopping on the football game days during the games because no one is out and about. Like the entire city completely shuts down and watches the football games. It's definitely a really cool environment to be part of. So definitely encourage you to check it out a little more. Just because of time frame, here is our contact info, but I will go ahead and post all this in the chat as well. I believe I am the last college rep today. So Catherine, I will turn back over to you.
Great, thank you. And we will jump right over now into Q&A. So again, thank you so much to our presenters, all great information. We do have a little bit of time left, so we'll go ahead now and pivot into our Q&A portion of this session. I'll ask if all our representatives could please turn on their cameras and get ready to unmute themselves for our first question here, which is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? Again, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And we'll go ahead and get started in the same order in which you all presented it.
Well, I would say come and visit. Kind of, as you narrow down your choices, maybe to your top 3, 4, 5, if you can go and visit the college campus, it's going to be your home for the next 4 years. And that's the best way to get the vibe and the energy and see if it really is a good fit for you. Of course, there's so many great virtual options that we all have now. So that's a great place to start, but then come in person. There's nothing else like it.
Yeah, I think that's really great advice. Obviously, I would just add to it, just trying to utilize all the resources available to you, whether it's virtual, whether it's in person, or even if you're just connecting with current students or alums. I think anytime you can talk to someone who's a representative of the school or institution, I think can really allow you to see if that's the right fit for you, because that's what this whole process is about. And obviously utilize us as, people to guide you and as you move through this process.
I would say just be as curious as possible. Obviously from this panel tonight, there are tons of different schools out there that offer tons of different things. So, just do a lot of research, ask a lot of questions, and kind of step outside of your comfort zone a little, because you never know what could be out there.
And kind of to piggyback on that, I'd even say, I think the media has certainly hyped up this process. This process is supposed to be fun. It's your first probably big adult decision. So have fun with it, relax. You're gonna find your home. There is, as you can see, there's a ton of options out there and a ton of us out there. So just keep looking and you're gonna find the place that is the right fit for you.
I would say that, there's a couple of international schools here, but if you don't think that going abroad for your full degree is for you, check out all of the study abroad opportunities for schools here in the US, because there's some really awesome ways to explore other countries through US schools as well for a shorter period of time.
Yeah, I think just to echo my colleagues, I think really just keep all of your options open, be as open-minded as you possibly can be. You see with the 6 of us here, we have all different universities, different colleges that we're able to bring to you all. So whether it's a large school, a small school, look at what programs the schools offer. Maybe look at international schools if you want to go abroad, right? So just keep all options open, be as open-minded as you possibly can be, and do your best to talk to students or talk to really anyone who works there. As admissions reps, we want to engage with you. So please reach out if you have any questions about any of our institutions.
Awesome. And like all our representatives have stated, they are here as a resource. So feel free to reach out at any point. And so we thank you to our representatives for being here, for all the information being shared. It's always super helpful to hear, even in a quick, short snippet, just all the things that the school has to offer. So thank you. And thank you to each of you for joining us. As we close, there will be a very quick 4-question survey that will appear on your browser. If you don't mind taking a moment to fill that out for us, your feedback is greatly appreciated. There are more sessions happening. This is one of many college presentations being offered tonight, so feel free to sign up for more. And lastly, all sessions will be available at strivescan.com/PCACAC. Again, thank you all and have a great night.